Alright, day number 163 of my accountability to myself. I appreciate everyone's attention who watches this. Today, I'm not going to be talking a lot about my day, but I will mention about some of the thoughts that I put down during the day. So, first thing that I'm going to briefly mention, everything that I've done per day is studying banking and finance. I spent 5 hours and 30 minutes, maybe some more, because during some moments I didn't really track the time, and so it's like, yeah, around 5 hours and 30, maybe some more. I think I'm prepared for exam. I have it tomorrow, and I'm gonna aim at least 16 out of 20, but I would like to get maybe 18, maybe more, but we will see. Tomorrow I will see everything. So probably a bit. Oh yeah, one of the things that I also like to mention, finally some kind of progress um, in my bench press, because I finally managed to do 3 sets, 104 5 reps. Previously I couldn't do that. So my personal single set was 100 for 6. Then I also did 100 for 5 2 reps, and third rep 100 for 4. But I've never done 100 for 5 3 reps, so that was the first time. That's pretty nice. Actually, I would already like to have like 100 for 6, 100 for 7. So I'd like to be way closer to 120, but it's whatever. I am satisfied with at least some kind of progress, because lately, over the past month, 2 months, it's been kind of flat. So little by little, but I'm getting closer. Hopefully everything will be fine, because next week I have exams, but it's fine. The problem is that week after that will be so busy. I will be having 4 days out of 5 per week that I need to spend in university for like 10 hours or something like that, which is just crazy. Yeah. So, what about my thoughts? The first thing, pretty simple, that I want to mention is we need to say more positive things that we think about others. Because lately, I noticed how it's actually nice, how it actually changes your mood. For example, today and a couple of days ago, I saw my friend, and he just told me, the first thing that he always says me is that if someone says this piece of cloth looks nice, it looks nice because it's on you, not because it's a nice piece of clothes, which actually makes sense. I will get back to this. And the second thing he just told me today, we just I just met him and like, oh yeah, how are you, this and that, and then all right, I should get going, and he says, yo, you look really great today, and I was, damn, thank you. It was really nice. It's so simple to say you look nice, or you have a great jacket, or you have a beautiful smile, you have nice eyes, something like, but genuinely. Of course, not just, you don't need to come up randomly with something, but the thing is that genuinely, if you think about that, why not? Or, sometimes I start talking with some people in the gym, and then while talking they might say, oh, I saw you previously and I thought like, wow, like it's such a big guy, and I was like, damn, thank you. But when you see someone and you think that, damn, you're big, like in the gym, for example, you can come over, just not even come over to the person, but just randomly, when you are next to him, you can say like, oh, you're like, you've got a great physique. That's it. You're just honest. You just express your genuine thoughts, and it actually makes mood of that person better. You know, it's so simple, but it might bring a lot of positive. Even, the other days I was in the bus and I was just uh, standing. Wait, I'm curious because that's the word I actually. Wait, bro. Of course. Yeah, I was standing. I don't know. I thought it's another word. So I was just standing in the bus, and I don't know. A random girl just comes in the bus. She looks at me. She smiles, and she just keeps going on. That's it. But for some reason, I remember that, and it was nice, And one of the brightest example I would say is in 2021. I remember it until today, even though it's been almost 5 years since that day. I don't remember exact day, of course. I remember it was winter. It was 2021, and I was returning from the college, and a random person just comes over to me and says, "Wow, you have such a great outfit. Where did you get your jacket? Where did you get your pants?" And I didn't have an extraordinary outfit. It was like a red jacket and white pants, and that's it. And it was so nice. It was so flattering, and I remember it until today. You know, so that's really nice, and it's not hard at all. It does not require anything to be just genuinely, I don't know how to say it, kind, or genuinely say whatever you think in terms of positive things. So the next thing is you don't need to be worried as long as you're alive. Literally remember your most stressful moments, your anxiety, and where it is in the past. And you don't care about it anymore. And so if you won't care about it in the future, why does it make sense now? And you can always, the thing is that if you fail or if something goes wrong, you can always try again or start from the beginning, but it's not even beginning because you already have some kind of experience, right? You always can try again as long as you are alive. And normally, things that we are scared of, we do only because we are trying to figure out everything ahead. And the problem is that we are having a lack of information. We are having limited thinking, which is based purely on our past experience, and we are not being that person who will be when we encounter this problem. I think it's more or less understandable, especially the last take. For example, pretty often we worry about some things in the future. Oh, in a year, something important happened. I will be having exams. Oh, in 4 months, I will be having exams. And that's the problem. You're worried because if you had those exams today, you wouldn't be able to handle them. That's why you have 4 months ahead. You have 4 months more to study basically, and to become that person who can handle those exams. And if it's, for example, about taking a stage, if you need to take a stage and you're worried because you never had any kind of performances, why would you be worried? Like, it's gonna be over, say, in 2 hours, and then you won't be worried. For example, you know what are you gonna be doing on that stage, you know what kind of content you need to be talking about, so you more or less understand what to do. You take the stage, you have your performance. After the performance, you are still alive, and you can just analyze, all right, something went wrong. Yeah, indeed, it was a lot of people looked at me. Probably I could have said something differently. all right, great. It's self-analysis. It's always nice, and the next time you will be better. And the thing is that about this performance, you won't be worried in a week after that performance. So why would you be worried an hour before that performance? It does not really make sense. And even though I realize it's impossible to get rid of completely of those to get rid of completely of those annoying thoughts, to get rid of completely of this anxiety, it's nearly impossible, I would even say, because you are a person, you experience something, still your brain gives you some ideas, trying to predict future. There are some reasons for that, and it's fine. But at least the idea is to improve your realization of the situation to that extent that you don't need to be worried that much. You can be more or less chilling. For example, for me, out of my experience, when I have to pitch or something like that, I still feel that something inside makes me a bit worried about that, but I'm fine. And for example, tomorrow I have exam, and probably I should experience some anxiety, but low-key I don't care, because I know that I've done something for that, and I'm not gonna spend my night to prepare. So I need to get great restorative sleeping, and tomorrow everything will be fine. And if for some reason a miracle will happen, I won't pass this exam, all right, it means there's something more I need to know. But I'm pretty sure it's impossible not to pass that exam. But still, the idea is that you don't need to be worried, because as soon as that event occurs, you don't think about that anymore, because it's in the past. So sooner or later, but your future event will be in the past, and you will be alive. So why would you be worried about that? So don't try to remember about this. Try to reduce this anxiety to feel better, because anxiety affects your skin, and it affects your health, which is not really nice, right? And it's something that you can manage. And I got myself with an idea that I wanted to tell about something in the first part, when I said that we need to say more positive things. I said that I'm gonna return to something, but I forgot. And what I was even talking about, I remember just it was something interesting that I wanted to mention, but I don't remember what. So alright, probably I'm gonna leave it in the comments. I will pin this comment just for myself, at least, because I'm really I really want to say that, but I don't remember what like at least I wanted to say it. Now I don't remember this. So say more positive things for others. Great day, close. Oh yes, about clothing. So when someone says that, oh, this piece of clothes looks nice, like really nice, and as I mentioned, one of my friends says that it looks nice because you wear this, because it's on you. That's why it looks nice. And it actually makes so much sense, because if we are gonna think, why do we have perspective that all the luxury brands are so cool? Because some really cool influencers were wearing those clothing. And even I noticed out of my experience, when I see some celebrity who I'm interested in at least a little, and I see that he dresses some kind of stuff that I'm aware of, maybe that I'm not aware of, it evokes me a stronger desire to get that piece of clothes. And so what actually makes it precious, why actually companies spend millions for those collaborations with celebrities. Because when you look at those people, what actually makes those clothing nice, not the piece of clothes itself, but the person that dresses that piece of clothes, which is true. So it's actually something that I was today listening from Alex Hermosi, when he explained how the perspective of the business of your product is built, and it's way more complex and longer than what I said, and I didn't even comprehend it completely, so I'm gonna rewatch that. But it actually makes so much sense because from the beginning, when there's a white t-shirt, it's a white t-shirt. You treat it as a white t-shirt. If we put there a sign, Nike, it gains some value. If we put on that sign of Louis Vuitton, it gets even stronger value. If we put on that sign Movalola, for example, for me, it would have some value, but for someone, it wouldn't have any value because it depends, do you know this brand or no. But you see that there's perception of the brands, and this perception is based on something. Because we saw that some people dressed those clothing, right? And that's why there are also models when this clothing is put on someone, on some celebrities, or just on some models, is because those models by themselves look better. You know, not better, but like in combination with this clothing, it looks, I would say, probably better. To me personally, I don't really understand it and I don't really have that opinion, but for some reason there are models, you know, for all that stuff. All right, that's fine. So if someone makes a compliment that you have a nice piece of clothes, it's definitely more about you, not about piece of clothes itself. All right, so also I have two thoughts that I would like to convey today. So the first one is first part of the day execution, second part of the day is preparation for the next day. What do I mean by that? In my case, I always struggled with productivity in the second part of my day because I've already got some dopamine, I've already got some, you know, yeah, I've already filled my mind with something, and it's actually harder to keep my concentration on the tasks because I have more thoughts or I have maybe more distractions, something like that, and I don't really have this understanding of the time because it feels like, oh, I've got some time, it's fine. But it's not really fine. Because in the morning, I somehow feel this that I need to execute. Once I return from the gym, in the evening, especially after 3-4 p.m., it's so hard to start doing something because it feels like it's kind of, you know, end of the day and low key, I don't really want to try hard and I'm about to go to sleep. And so the idea is that to start preparing for the next day, which basically means that I'm making plan for my next day, I'm journaling, and also I'm studying something because learning something this evening is a preparation for tomorrow's morning. And also, one of the sentences that I put in brackets is that your day is determined the night before, which is also true. If you schedule your day, if you plan your day ahead the night before, you know what you're supposed to do in the morning. You don't need to grab your phone, start scrolling Instagram, and ruin your brain, you know. So I will definitely try to execute this idea somehow. In my case, when first day, part of the day is execution, second is preparation for the next day. Because even when you execute, you prepare somehow for the next day, because you keep this momentum. When you have this streak of starting something every day, you tend to keep this streak further. So I will try to think from this perspective, not like since the morning till evening I have the whole day. No, I have half of the day, another half of the day is dedicated for something else, for some kind of preparation for the next day. All right, so, and the last thing that I'm gonna mention about today is once you code yourself with an idea and then you think like, wait, no, I'm not gonna do this, it's something too hard, it's something too scary. That's exactly what you need to do, because confronting this fear will make you way more confident, and will bring you way better results. It always works that way, because recently even today I don't actually remember vividly what I was thinking about, but I caught myself with an idea. I was thinking about something, and then I caught myself with an idea, and I thought, oh wait, no, I'm not. Oh yes, I remember. I started watching video, by the way, in French, and in France, and in French. And what is interesting, I was understanding most of the content. I know it's really surprising, because also I noticed I'm kind of consistent with watching this series in French, which actually more or less works. I feel that I understand some better, and also sometimes I translate some phrases, some words, and again, it allows me to keep consistency, to keep French every day in my day. So probably it's not that bad idea to watch some kind of series in French. And so what I wanted to say is, I watched a video in France, in Belgium, and in French. So yes, and I was watching a video, 19 habits that are gonna improve your productivity or change your life, something like that. And one of the first things that was mentioned, don't listen to music, at least without any reasons. Like, you don't need this stimulation. I always put my earphones. Once I finish studying and I'm preparing to the gym, I put my earphones and I start listening to music even before I leave my apartment, right? Then when I return, I keep listening to something. Then when I'm cooking, I'm listening to music, and it gives those how to say, some dopamine hits. And after that, it's harder to focus on some tasks that I need to get done, because I'm stimulated with some dopamine. And so it would actually make sense for me to reduce listening to music. I actually want to try to go to the gym without music. For me, it's a challenge actually. And also, I noticed I was thinking about consuming information and actually execution, and I was thinking about how it's called. I don't remember, some kind of team. When you create some kind of team, I was reading about it in the book, and to create this team with who you can actually create something, discuss some topics, um, you actually need, to get to know more people. The only way to get to know more people is to talk to more people. I could talk to more people, at least even being in the gym, because I think there are some more interesting people. But every time I listen to music, it does not allow me to strike up in the conversation. It's so hard to interrupt myself because I listen to this music, I feel like I live in another world. I don't even want to stop this music and I don't want to interrupt myself. I don't want to open my mouth. And so if I didn't listen to music, most likely I would be able to talk to people. And I thought, the next time when you go to the gym, you need to go without music and talk to someone. And then I thought, no, I'm not gonna do this. You know what? It's something that is gonna actually bring me a bit another experience, maybe some more value. To get to know more people is always valuable. And it was not something that, oh, I will never do this. No. But for example, if you are talking about me making some content, some more serious content than this, of course, posting it in social medias, and I feel like, oh, no, 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 no. No. Yes, that's exactly what I need to do in order to become some more confident and to hit some kind of milestone that for some reason I'm scared of. So every time you think about something and you catch yourself with an idea like, oh, no, 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 I'm definitely not gonna do this. Ask yourself why and try to reflect, would it be possible to actually implement it? Because if yes, it would be so nice. Alright, I think that's it. I didn't have a plan to make 30 minutes video because it's already 10 p.m. I should go to sleep, and yeah, because I want to wake up. I want also to revise some material related to this subject in the morning, so I need to go to sleep. I don't try to share with some ideas, with some thoughts, and we just need to be more positive, right? By the way, one of the things that I remember from the book Marcus Aurelius Meditations, he said, don't concentrate on the things that you don't have but you want to get, but try to think about something you already have, something really precious, and imagine what would it cost to you or how hard it would be to get that thing if you didn't possess of that. Then you start actually valuing what you have instead of always desiring more and more. But Marcus Aurelius is more about, how this word called? Philosophy. It's more about philosophy. I'm not really gonna go into this right now, especially because it's 30 minutes video. I need to go to sleep, and yes, try to appreciate more what you have and try to bring more value. Not more value, but don't be afraid of saying people good things. It does not cost you anything, but it may really bring something positive in someone's life, which is nice. Alright, I appreciate everyone's attention. I don't think someone watches 30 minutes, so see you in the next one.